there are only 3 people in the country that were given Privy Council recognition. And only 3 of them have the right to be called the Right Honorable. The Right Honorable Sir Julius Chan, the Right Honorable Rabi Namaliu, and the Right Honorable Sir Michael Somali. Everybody else should not be called the Right Honorable. But I want to mention 4 people that were around that time when Prime Minister Somare and Minister Julius Chan wanted leaders in bureaucracy to develop the policy, draft the legislation, and manage the systems. And I want to acknowledge, out of the 8 prime ministers that we have had, 3 of those prime ministers went back to be governor of the provinces.
The first parliamentary sitting of the year was a solemn occasion dedicated to honouring the late Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan. While many MPs from both sides of the House delivered speeches that failed to leave a lasting impression, one stood out above the rest. It was the final speech of the session, the last man speech. Perhaps they saved the best for last, and indeed it resonated deeply with the spirit of our nation's 50th anniversary celebrations. Let's dive into the highlights of this remarkable moment as we hear from the MP for Abao and opposition strongman, Dr. Puka Temu.
I had some personal encounters with the late Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan, but before I share with you very short versions, I want to acknowledge God in bringing about this great man at a time when the nation was beginning to start as a country. I think history is now proven that at the foundation time of this young nation, the country needed Grand Chief Somare and Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan at that time. And so thank you, God, for allowing them to exist and be born during that time. Also, I want to thank the family, Lady Stella and his 2 remaining siblings, and Lady Stella and the children are here, the people of New Ireland, but particularly Lady Stella and the family, because as all of us know as leaders, plenty kind pressure and criticism have come. And the people who feel it most are the family. And so I want to thank Lady Stella and the children for providing a castle for this great leader that has stood the test of time through the early years of our nation's beginning to give birth to our nation, through the House of Assembly years, and then through this honourable House with both our Grand Chief Somare and Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan also served. My story came in when I had the opportunity to be appointed Secretary for Health by him. When I was appointed Secretary for Health in 1996, I had the privilege of knowing what the Prime Minister's office operates like. And one thing I said at the House Cry I would want to share, because it emphasizes the focus, the dedication, and the commitment of this particular man that we are paying tribute to. That he actually every month would call us departmental heads, because he had in his office a whiteboard where the government's priority projects were. And that he would ask us to update him. And if we were lagging behind, then we had a warning. So he actually had a great focus and attention on the priorities that he as the Prime Minister wanted to deliver in the country. And I became a politician in 2002. When I moved away from the Grand Chief, he was there supporting me. And recently he joined us in Vanimo, and the latest he joined us. So he'd always moved when things are not right. He had the ability to discern where things are going wrong in leadership, and then he would be able to move away. And that is why I guess in his 2 prime ministerships, it was the vote of no confidences that brought him into the privilege of being a prime minister, rather than winning them in the elections like late Grand Chief used to do. I want to pose 2 questions in this tribute to this great man. One is a question that I've been pondering on for a while, and that is, out of the 8 prime ministers that we have had, 3 of those prime ministers went back to be governor of the provinces. Sir Michael Somare, Sir Julius, and Honorable Winty. They had spent most of their time worrying about the country, and they forgot about their provinces. So when they had the chance, they went to be governors of the provinces. 3 prime ministers. I wonder, Assistant Speaker, what is there for the lesson? I think the lesson is these 3 prime ministers believe that the provinces are the basis for our nation building. If we get our provinces right and get the economies of those provinces right, align the budgets right so that governors and their members of parliament can move their provinces, I think as a country we will move at a faster pace than what we've been doing. Recommendation is that we really have to seriously look at the autonomy issue as we are now in the year of the 50th anniversary of independence. We have to seriously make a decision to structure an autonomous arrangement, because some of us, and I know many of you believe, like the 3 former prime ministers who went to become governors, including the Right Honorable Sir Julius Chan, provinces has to be the building block for the nation from now in the next 50 years to come. Assistant Speaker, I want to acknowledge some other people, because many times in this type of occasions we only praise the political heads. But I want to mention 4 people that were around that time when Prime Minister Somare and Minister Julius Chan wanted leaders in bureaucracy to develop the policy, draft the legislation, and manage the systems. And I want to acknowledge the gang of 4. Many times they have not been acknowledged, but on this occasion, I want to acknowledge them, and that is Sir Rabi Namaliu. He became Prime Minister. He was a champion in public service, first Commissioner in Public Services Commission. I want to acknowledge Emeka Morata. He became Prime Minister, as all of us have acknowledged. He was the first Secretary to Treasury and Finance. I want to acknowledge Sir Anthony Siaguru. He was a champion of fighting corruption in this country. And I also want to acknowledge Sir Charles Lepani. He was the key player in making sure that budget and planning were structured right. And at the same time, Sir Henry Robert, who was the first governor of the central bank. The lesson and the reason why I have mentioned them is because when there is combination of strong leadership in bureaucracy and politics, this country will move at a pace faster. But when bureaucratic leadership and political leadership there's an impasse between them, then we do experience terrible delivery of public goods and services in every sector. So on behalf of the people of Abao, I want to say thank you to the Right Honorable Sir Julius Chan for his life, his enormous contribution, and the legacy that will never be forgotten. And I want to sit down with and advise. There are only 3 people in the country that were given Privy Council recognition. And only 3 of them have the right to be called the Right Honorable. The Right Honorable Sir Julius Chan, the Right Honorable Rabi Namaliu, and the Right Honorable Sir Michael Somare. Everybody else should not be called the Right Honorable. Thank you, Assistant Speaker.